Lord Jamar was just on recently. I said, hey, Lord Jamar, I was just thinking about, your first single, Brand New, being Slow Down.
Yeah.
And when Grand Poobah said a real gold winner, just like Bruce Jenner, do you guys change that lyric when you perform? He goes, actually, yes, we do. I asked you whether Poobah changed his line when doing shows. And you said,
yes, he does. He says a real gold winner like Caitlyn Jenner. But for the record, and this is my man, I love Poobah, I don't really like when he says that, though. You know what I mean? So you will hear at the shows, there will be he'll say Caitlyn, and I'll still say Bruce Jenner.
That's
a
dope.
Little stir or whatever else. So, I sit around and I think about songs and stuff under, with a 2019 lens. So I did a post yesterday, right? And I put up a picture of Michael Jackson's single, PYT,
yes.
Pretty Young Thing. I said, does this song have a whole new meaning after watching Leaving Neverland?
Oh, man. Come on.
This ended up being the biggest tweet I've ever done in the history of my account. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
There are almost 600 comments. Mostly from Michael Jackson supporters who are telling me to burn in hell. And it actually got to the point where Michael Jackson's nephew, Taj Jackson, actually responded.
Oh, shit.
Because you get all these responses like, yo, no, Michael Jackson just didn't know how to say no to people. That's why those families and kids got close to him, and all this stuff or whatever else, and and I said, it seems like I hit a nerve with this one. And then Taj Jackson responded. He said, no, you hit a nerve because of your proud ignorance. Let's start going through the titles and lyrics. Some other famous rock and roll stars. I'll start. Well, she was just 17, if you know what I mean.
Yes, that's true.
First of all, any song that hints at pedophilia, period, I'm not cool with. Not to say that I don't think PYT really does that. I just wanted to see.
Pretty young thing. I was thinking about it, just a young girl, not some underage girl, like a girl that's 20 years old.
Or boy.
What?
or boy.
Pretty young. No, he's talking about a chick. Because he had, on that album, there's Lady in My Life, Pretty Young Thing. He's talking about girls, man. I got out of here with that.
Well, like I said, I was stirring the pot. I just want to see what happens. So,
right.
so he's like, so Taj Jackson responded. That created a whole big uproar because everyone follows. Everyone with Michael Jackson in their profile pic is like hitting me and attacking me. It's actually pretty funny. It's actually pretty funny. I get a kick out of this. But look, here's the reality. And people are like, we know for a fact Michael Jackson didn't do anything. We're 100% sure. Listen, the reality is that nobody's 100% sure except for Michael.
Not, of course.
And the boys that were in that room with him alone.
Right.
Those are the only people that are 100% sure. And since the two young men who did the documentary, Safe Chuck and the other guy, Wade Robson, are they telling the truth? Are they not telling the truth? Ultimately, when all these people die, no one will really know.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, I can tell you that R. Kelly is a pedophile because I've seen the tape.
Right.
That is clearly an underage girl in that tape.
Right.
Okay, yes, she didn't show up to the trial and she claimed it wasn't her, and R. Kelly, sent her on her family on a cruise or whatever else. But I remember when that tape was all circulating through the hood.
Right.
I saw it and I'm like, oh shit. That's an underage girl, and that's definitely R. Kelly. Let me get rid of this fucking tape. Like, I'm cool. I never want to see this again.
Right.
Like, so I know R. Kelly's a pedophile. I'm sure of this. There are no tapes of Michael Jackson and young boys, so honestly,
there is footage of Michael Jackson with children playing with them in the swimming pool, letting him get on the rides. He's just being a kid. There's footage of...
Yeah, look.
There's no footage of him touching anybody.
Yes. I got that. And here's the thing, man. I don't care what the fuck, he never had a childhood. Oh, Joe Jackson was so mean to him growing up. No 30-something-year-old man should be hanging out with 10-year-old boys. Cut it out. Who aren't his relatives?
Well, those relatives are fans, starstruck as fuck, and they're like, maybe we can get some money off this motherfucker, man. Period.
Right.
I mean, Michael, listen, Michael brought that on himself as far as he brought it on himself like, yo, this is not good. You know, there's no girls around. It's all boys. So Michael brought that on himself.
Not just boys, but like 10-year-old boys.
Yeah. He brought that on himself.
Yes.
That he brought that. That's his own choice. You brought that on yourself. You're too big to be doing certain things. You got to know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right. Because think about it. Who doesn't want to hang out with Michael Jackson?
All of us do.
Any age.
We all want to.
It's like, well, damn, man. I went and called Stevie Wonder and James Brown and Paul McCartney, and all of them are busy. But the 10-year-olds are the only ones that are calling me back. Everyone else is just too busy to hang out with me. Right. It's fucking Michael Jackson. Who does not want to hang out with Michael Jackson? The whole world wants to hang out with Michael Jackson.
Of course.
He chose to spend time with these young boys. He would live in like the families of these young boys, you know, with these families, like in these fucking houses.
Yeah, it was strange.
It was. Come on, man.
Michael
like
was
that's
strange,
not right.
But he could have. It's not right. But he could have literally not touched any of them. But it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right. There's a visual thing.
It doesn't look right for him. It doesn't look right for the parents. No. I mean, and you honestly kind of feel sorry for, and he's taking these young boys on tour with him.
I know.
Come on, man.
Even when I go to the mall, I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Because it's like young girl, like they're like 15. You feel like a creep. You're like, but sometimes if you're in a certain city where all they got is a mall, you're like, I'm going to go to the mall. You're like, look at how young these motherfuckers are. You're like, ugh, you know what I mean?
Right. And someone pointed out in the comments, they said, you know, look, there's a lot of strange behavior out there that's accepted. Now think about, you know, some man dressing up as Santa Claus and having kids sit on his lap.
That's true.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right. That is a bit strange.
They need to stop the Santa Claus lap shit.
Right. But if Santa Claus then want to take all the boys that sat on his lap home and spend the night with them in his private room, no one would be cool with Santa Claus doing that.
But I think Santa Claus.
But with Michael Jackson, no. He was a special soul. He was, you know, he didn't get to live out his childhood, so now that's the only people he relates to. Like, cut it out. Cut that shit out. You should not have been hanging out with those young boys. And now this is the repercussion of all that shit over and over again.
It's the repercussions. He brought that on himself by hanging it. It wasn't a good look, but I really believe it was a takedown of Michael Jackson because he had a lot of power. I don't give a fuck. They wanted to take all that shit. He bought all this. He owned this. He owned that. They're like, all we need to do, he's hanging around these boys. This was going to take him down. Fuck up his legacy. So.
Yep. Yeah, man. So listen, like I said, I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he's not. He didn't do it. At the end of the day, there's no video footage of it. There's no audio of it. You know, Harvey Weinstein, there's audio that came out of him trying to rape that one woman.
And he's still not in jail.
Well, but he has a whole bunch of court cases and stuff like that. He still may go to jail.
Okay, hopefully.
You know, and there is I think at least one documentary coming out about him. So we don't know, man. We don't know. Maybe it happened. Maybe it didn't happen. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm 100% sure.
Or like maybe it's another conspiracy to take down a powerful black man. Fuck what you heard. Take down another brother because that's what they love to do. Shut us down. Put Wesley Snipes in jail for tax evasion. Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. Another fucking excuse. All the white dudes are walking. Come on. What are we doing here?